Everyone has a favorite PlayStation. But favorites are emotional. Today, we're not talking about nostalgia, we're answering a harder question. What is objectively the best PlayStation console ever made? Sales alone won't decide this. Neither will graphics. Because the best console is the one that changed gaming forever. We're judging PlayStation consoles by 5 criteria: impact, library, accessibility, longevity, cultural dominance. By the end of this video, one console stands above all the others. WHY, best, is hard to define to crown the best. We must understand what consoles are supposed to do. Consoles are not PCs, they are cultural products. The best console is not the most powerful, it's the most influential. Gaming history is shaped by who reached the most people. The PlayStation 2 didn't just win a generation, it absorbed entire demographics that never gamed before. The perfect storm, why the PS2 arrived at the right time: late 90s, early 2000s, DVD boom, mainstream gaming explosion. PS2 launched not just as a console, but as an entertainment device. Many households bought it as a DVD player first. Why this matters: it entered homes that would never have bought a console. Parents approved it. Non-gamers accepted it. No other PlayStation ever crossed so many social barriers. The greatest game library in console history. This chapter alone can run 20+ minutes. 3.1 Quantity and quality: over 4,000 games. Every genre represented. Low budget, experimental, AAA, all coexisted. 3.2 Genre-defining games: GTA San Andreas. Open worlds became cultural sandboxes. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. Narrative complexity in games matured. God of War, cinematic action design perfected. Final Fantasy X, JRPGs reached mainstream audiences. Shadow of the Colossus, games as art. Entire genres look the way they do today because of PS2 games. Accessibility, the most democratic console ever. Key argument, very important, the PS2 was easy to develop for. Cheap discs. Massive install base. Right pointing arrow. Low risk. Right pointing arrow. Creativity exploded. Small studios thrived. Weird ideas survived. Innovation wasn't locked behind budgets. The PS2 wasn't just powerful, it was permissive. Longevity that no console has matched. PS2 lifecycle lasted over 13 years. Games released even after PS3 launch. It coexisted with next-gen instead of being replaced. Why this matters: it never abandoned players. It respected its audience's wallets. No PlayStation has ever stayed relevant for that long. Cultural dominance, not just sales. Yes, it sold 155+ million units, but here's the deeper point: PS2 became a childhood memory, a social connector, a shared global experience. Cyber cafes, living rooms, dorm rooms, developing countries. The PS2 didn't belong to one market, it belonged to the world. Why newer PlayStations never reached this peak? Critical but fair analysis. PS3, too complex, too expensive. PS4, excellent, but safe. PS5, powerful, but fragmented and corporate. Modern PlayStations are curated ecosystems. PS2 was a wild frontier. Freedom creates legends, control creates products. Ranking best-selling PlayStation consoles of all time. 1. PlayStation 2, approximately 155 million units, the undisputed champion best-selling console in gaming history. Sold more than Xbox, Nintendo, and every PlayStation combined in its era. Longevity, over 13 years on the market. Cultural penetration across all demographics. Keyline for the video: the PS2 didn't just sell consoles, it created gamers. 2. PlayStation 4, approximately 117 million units, the modern blockbuster machine. Sony's recovery after the PS3 era. Strong exclusives and developer-friendly architecture. dominated the HD generation. Limitation: safe, polished, but not revolutionary. 3. PlayStation, PS1, approximately 102 million units. The revolutionary origin: Sony's entry into gaming. Popularized 3D gaming and cinematic experiences. Created iconic franchises still alive today. Limitation: technologically groundbreaking, but still early and experimental. 4. PlayStation 3, approximately 87 million units. The ambitious risk: Blu-ray adoption. Online infrastructure foundations. Incredible late-generation exclusives. Limitation: high price, complex architecture, slow start. 5. PlayStation 5 to 50+ million units, still active, the unfinished story: strong launch sales despite shortages. Powerful hardware and SSD innovation. Limitation: legacy still being written. Too early to judge historically. Why this ranking matters: important point for your video. Sales alone do not decide greatness, but when sales align with cultural impact, longevity, and creative freedom, you get something rare. Only one PlayStation meets all 4 criteria at once. PS2: highest sales, longest lifespan, widest audience, most diverse and influential library. That's not coincidence. That's dominance. Chapter: the honorary second place. Why PlayStation 4 deserves recognition. Before we close this discussion, there is one console that deserves special recognition. A console that did almost everything right. A console that saved PlayStation when it mattered most. If the PlayStation 2 represents PlayStation's golden age, the PlayStation 4 represents its redemption. Why the PS4 earned second place. 1. It rescued PlayStation's identity after the PS3's rocky generation. Sony needed to rebuild trust. PS4 returned to developer-friendly hardware, gamer-first messaging, clear focus on games over gimmicks. The PS4 didn't experiment, it listened. 2. One of the strongest exclusive lineups ever, not just good games, genre-defining modern classics. God of War, 2018, reinvented an iconic franchise. The Last of Us Part 2, narrative ambition at blockbuster scale. Bloodborne, hardcore design meeting mainstream success. Horizon Zero Dawn, new IP with global appeal. Spider-Man, the definitive superhero gaming experience. The PS4 proved exclusive still matter in the modern era. 3. Massive commercial success, over 117 million units sold, dominated its generation against Xbox One, maintained momentum almost its entire lifecycle. This wasn't hype, it was consistency. 4. The perfect balance of power and simplicity, strong hardware without unnecessary complexity, easy to develop for predictable performance result. Developers could focus on creativity, not technical headaches. Why the PS4 does not surpass the PS2. This is where the analysis becomes honest and strong. Narrator, calm but firm. As great as the PlayStation 4 was, it never reshaped gaming at a global scale. Key limitations: it refined gaming. It did not redefine its safer design philosophy. Fewer experimental and risky titles operated in an already established market. The PS4 perfected the modern PlayStation formula. The PS2 created the formula. The core difference: PS2 built the culture, expanded the audience, created genres, defined an era. PS4 polished the industry, delivered prestige, focused on cinematic excellence. Both are great, but only one is transformational. When people argue about the best PlayStation ever, they usually start with nostalgia or graphics. But greatness isn't about pixels, it's about presence. The PlayStation 2 was everywhere. In living rooms. In cyber cafes. In dorm rooms. In countries where gaming barely existed before. It didn't chase trends. It didn't rely on subscriptions. It didn't need constant reinvention. It simply gave developers freedom, and gave players unforgettable experiences. Other PlayStations refined the formula. Some pushed technology further. Some delivered incredible exclusives. But only one console changed the scale of gaming forever. You can love another PlayStation more. But history is clear: the PlayStation 2 isn't just the best PlayStation ever made. It's one of the greatest consoles of all time.